Okay, so today we're going to be doing something a little bit different for math. You all are going to, in a second, not right now, all going to open up your Chromebooks and get on Google Classroom, which I just said in 1 second, not right now. Don't worry about it right now. And you're going to open up this presentation. It should be in your Google Classroom. Is it called Line Plots? Or?
It's called Line Plot Notebook.
Line Plot Notebook. So I want everybody to open up their Chromebooks now, log on, and when you have gotten onto Line Plot Notebook, give me a thumbs up on your desk so I know.
Why did I do that?
You've already gotten on it? Oh.
You're not on that side of it.
I don't want to see a thumb until you have gotten on the notebook. Okay, that's what the thumb's for. Thank you.
Is that the really top? Look a second.
It should be at the top of the Google Classroom. Right here. Line Plot Notebook. Okay. Have you opened up the Line Plot Notebook? Once you've gotten to it, open it up, and then I'm going to go over just a couple expectations before we get started. So you all have the presentation on your own Chromebook. You should be able to see it right in front of you. We're going to do some things where you can click and move things and interact with it, but I need you all to stay on the same slide as me. If I'm on this slide, you're on this slide, not 3 slides down looking at what we're going to do next. Okay. That's it. Good job. That's when you click and drag things. Don't do it before I give directions, okay? Okay.
And you cannot be in presentation mode or you won't be able to edit it, and we are. Okay?
Yeah. So you presentation, have my slide on the side, that's what yours is going to look like too. Okay. Today we're learning something new. We're learning about line plots. We've a measure. I can line plot measurements in fractions of a unit and solve problems involving addition and subtraction of. If you remember how to add and subtract fractions. I hope everybody's thumbs up. Because we did it just like a week ago, 2 weeks ago maybe. So I know that you all are going to rock this one out. So to start this off, you can turn to the next slide. We're going to look at a line plot that you might have seen back in like 3rd grade or 2nd grade. This has whole numbers. So it's right here. Each X represents one student. So each one of these X's represents one student. So our question is, how many students wore a size 5 shoe? Or so one of my slides is mixed up. Hold on. This is not the right one. This one. It's okay. Got a little bit mixed up. Everyone turn to the book one. Is everybody on the book one where it says number of book spot?
Book was the one that they had next.
Okay,
yeah.
Mine just got switched. Okay, that's fine. So, how many students bought one book? You have it on your computer to see it very well and not have to squint. Oscar, how many students bought one book? 3 students, yep. How did you know that? Because there's 3 X's and each X equals 1 student. Exactly, good job. How many students 5 books or more? This one's kind of tricky. Andrew. You have it on your Chromebook too if you need to look at it closer. 5 books or more. There's no X's on 5 books or more than 5 books?
Oh, not one.
Okay, so one person bought 5 books, but I'm looking for 5 books or more than 5 books. So what does that mean? That means books or 7 books, right? All right, Mackenzie Farmer. 4. How did you know that?
Because I just. 4
did 1 plus 3. Here, and 3. She said 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Or it means. What if I said 6 or 3? Because there's only 3 on 7, none on 6, and it's 6 and 7. Okay? Let's go to, we'll scroll back up since mine are out of order. You all will click to your next slide, which is the shoe sizes of classmates. So now this is a new graph we have to look at. And our question is, how many students wore a size 5 shoe or smaller? Kylie's. 17 people wore a size 5 shoe or smaller. Think about it again. Or smaller. You have to think about which number is smaller than 5. Yes, Kylie's. Okay, so Kylie says 2 because there's 2 right here. Does anybody have a different answer? Daniel? 5. How did you get 5?
Because you do 3 plus 2 and 5.
Where'd you get 3 and 2?
Because it said 5 or smaller.
5 or smaller. So he's counting the 3 that are on 5 and then the 2 that are on 4. And that's how he got 5 students. Give me a thumbs up if you feel like you're ready to move on and you got it. Okay. So this is a line plot that's going to be similar to the ones we're looking at today. Now that we're in 4th grade, we're looking at fractions. We're not doing just whole numbers anymore. So this line plot represents, each one represents a student and how many hours they studied. So as we can see, we have 2 1/2, 3 1/2, 4 1/2, and we're going to get some more that are a little bit more difficult. But it's okay because I know y'all can handle it. So now, and just what a line plot is. It's okay. You do have it. Did you turn to the next slide?
Can we push the...
You. Well, now. Oh, there we go. All right, you have to tell them your definition.
Just like the one we did. Line and fraction.
The 30 seconds was fast.
That's weird.
All right.
Yeah, YouTube video.
No, it's just the same video. Okay, who wants to raise a hand and tell me what they decided their definition of a line plot is? Jaden. It's just different. Okay, it's like a number line. I agree with that, but it's a little bit different. How is it different, Emily?
Isabel, that it was like a number line, except it's different because you put like how many times you put on something. Like if there's like 5 people and they read for 5 hours, then you put like 5 dots on where the thing is, or the part of the line is.
Okay, so she said it's like a number line, but you add stuff to it to describe each person or event that happens. Nyla, did you want to add something to it? Yes, you can say yours.
I thought it was a number line.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like
where there's fractions on it instead of whole numbers? Okay. Oops. So now, I guess I'll have to go here.
Everybody thinks it's like a number line.
It's like a number line. We know that. If you turn to your next slide, you're going to have a definition that's like the technical definition that's not in your terms. So this one, what you can do is you can click and drag it into this box. And it says, we'll move it first. A graph that shows data using an X to show how many times an event occurs at each point on the line. So that's a big definition, but kind of what Emily was saying is that it's like if something happened, if there's a student, they put an X right above the line.
So the stuff that in your definition, Daniel.
I think
Can you help? Here?
number lines.
No. Kinsey Carver. Well, we are adding X's, and that those X's it's not always people. What's it say? Does it say people in there? The data. So we gotta have that vocabulary.
What's the data?
Data, well, we're actually, great question. We're about to look at it. So move on to the next slide that says creating a line plot. So right now we're going to talk about how to make our own line plots, because in a second you're going to be making your own. Now this line plot is a little bit more advanced than 4th grade. It might be more of a 5th grade or a 6th grade line plot, but I think that y'all can handle it. So this line plot, as we said, it looks like a number line. So that's the first thing that you have to do, is you have to see if you have your number line with all the correct numbers. Now, in a number line, do we put our numbers in random order? Do we put like 1, 5, 2, 7? No. They have to be in order. That's what a number line is. 1, 2, 3. But if it's fractions, you have to put the fractions in order too. You can't just put them in a random order, wherever you want. So, as we can see, this person has their numbers all in order from smallest, least to greatest. And then right here, they have this X circled, and it says each X equals 1 plant. So in their case, they're looking at the heights of plants. The numbers on the line are how tall they are, and the X's equal 1 plant. So it's going to be different for every problem. So our X's in the first problem were about students. This one's about plants. They can be about events. They're not always people, okay? So that's like your main things that you need to know. What you're putting down here, which is always going to be your numbers of either your height, how many sold. You have to look and see what it says, what the label is at the bottom. And then an X for each event or person or thing that happens. So then we're going to move on. And this is one where you all are about to click and drag it yourselves. I'm going to have some people come up, and hopefully we can drag it with our finger. So this one is talking about the yards that a student's paper airplane traveled. So they had a science experiment. They made the best paper airplane. They wanted to see, and they threw them, and this is how many yards they flew. Okay? So right here, or down. Our 2/4 a yard. You got it now? You're remembering what data is now?
Tomato, tomato.
Mm-hmm. So who would like to come up to the and put our first data point up on? Is it not dragging? All right, come over here and do it.
Just grab it.
So it's not on here, so you're just going to click it. Click it and drag it to where you want it, okay? You have to click it like this with this button. Click it and then drag it. Thank you. Okay, so she put her first X over 2/4. And why did you do that, Emily? Because it said 2/4. It's as easy as that. You see it, you see what it says? It says 2/4, then you come down here and you find 2/4, and you click and you drag it to 2/4. That's easy, right? We can all do that, can't we? Okay, who wants to come up and do our second one? Kinsey Martin. And we're going to go down Kinsey Martin, so this is our second one. You'll have to do it on the computer. So you have to look up here and move this. And then click the button, this button, and drag it. Okay. What did you put it on? Take your hands down from your mouth. What did you put it on?
3/4.
And why did you put it on 3/4?
Because there's
What?
only 2.
You only have one. You're only doing the second one. Because what number is that? 3/4. So it's literally just matching what's in the data to what's on the line plot. Super easy. All right, you can go ahead and sit down. Now we're going to jump to one. Jaden, why don't you come on up here, and I want you to do this one for us. I mean, 2/4. It's up here. So you have to look up here.
Okay.
And then press that button and drag it. Okay. And why did you put it there?
Because it says 3/4.
Because it says 3/4, but why didn't
Because I'm not that would
the graph? That wouldn't be 3/4. 3/4 is right here. This you all can click and drag your X's on your own slideshow, and I want you to finish this graph. All filled in. If you have any questions, we'll be around walking around. Get working. Yes, ma'am?
So you've already got 3 of them done for you.
You need help? You have to ask me a question then.
Never mind.
Okay, that is correct, yes. Keep going.
And if you need to zoom in, you guys know how to hit the zoom button and make it a little bit bigger. If you would like to do that, you can.
All right, you only have one down, but we all have 3 already, so you need to catch up.
This is how you zoom.
Oh, you should know how to zoom. What's that? And then you have to click a bigger zoom. Oh, whoops. Zoom. Let's do that. There you go. You can make it bigger. You know how now.
Huh?
I didn't break it. I made it bigger.
Move your finger, slide your finger across it, put it where you need it.